Just doing my thing. Okay, here we go. Bear with me. Hello, friends, and welcome to a review by The Amazing Bass. I'm Joseph Williams, otherwise known as The Amazing Bass, and today we're going to be talking about a very special movie to me, a movie that's had a giant influence in my life, that movie being Ridley Scott's classic Alien. A little backstory here. Alien has been in my life since I was a wee child, since I was 5, and my parents decided to show me the movie, therefore traumatizing me and putting me through years and years of nightmares and terror and unfortunate events like that. This little guy was not uncommon in my dreams and not being able to sleep for quite a few years. But that fear went on and grew into a passionate love. I will not hesitate to say that Alien is my favorite movie of all time. It is an epitome, the epitome of horror movies. It is so masterfully made. Every aspect of it is perfect. Not perfect. No movie is perfect, and I'll get into that a little later. It does so many things right. I could talk for hours about what this film does right, but let's start with the plot. And of course, it's a very simple plot. A crew of deep space miners are on their way home after going on a mining excursion. And midway home, they're awoken from their cryogenic stasis, a mysterious distress signal from an alien planet that they have no reason to have encountered, because they're still in deep space, you know. They go down to the planet, they find out where this distress signal came from, and as a result, the crew that went down brings a threat back onto the ship they came from, therefore instigating a series of deaths by a creature. One by one, this crew is picked off, and I'll leave it there, because if you haven't seen Alien, there's nothing I want to spoil for this movie. Now, this movie does so many things right. My feelings for the perfection of what this movie can do is encapsulated in one word, and that word is atmosphere. This movie nails, absolutely 100% nails its atmosphere. Its art design, its acting, its set design, everything that it does in regards to that is beautiful. Like the music, the cinematography, the lighting design, it's all absolutely stunning. The characters are nuanced and well acted, with very clear, motivations and backstories that we don't need to know as an audience member, because the actors are so good at encapsulating the characters that they're playing. All the human elements of this movie are gorgeous. Intricate designs, specificity, and a level of detail that didn't need to be there. It didn't need to, but they put it in there anyway, because it was just a love letter. The film started off as kind of a B movie, right, before Ridley Scott came on, and I think the producers also said something like, look, this is a B movie, but we want it to be a production. We want it to be a monster movie that people can watch and go, yes, that was a fantastic, not just a B monster movie, but a fantastic horror movie. And it sets out to do that, and it does it perfectly. The world that it builds. This world is oppressive. That is a perfect word to describe what this world is. Oppressive. The main crux of the movie is set on the spaceship called the Nostromo. And the Nostromo is just an ideal of what it means to do story, atmosphere, and set design right when you're doing a film. Every hallway, every cranny, every sharp turn, every set is cramped and small and tight and oppressive and dingy and gross, and just, it looked like the ship is noticeably falling apart. It's tangibly old, and the amount of detail that must have gone into it is just amazing. I feel like you're right there with these characters. You feel the anxiety and the pressure and the fear that the characters are feeling throughout the entire thing because of the atmosphere and the design that the artist put into it. And then on the other side of the same coin, the alien design and the alien architecture and the things that go into this otherworldly creature are all grotesque and disturbing and unsettling and just ever so slightly sexual. Not ever so slightly, you know what? Not ever so slightly sexual. Overtly sexual, penis-shaped heads. There's holes in the side of this spaceship that look like vaginas. It's very disturbing, and it gets into your head, and it really plays into the themes of the movie, of that being kind of loss of power. Taken away from humanity and given to this otherworldly creature. And it's just, it really gets into your head and gets under your skin and really makes you feel unsettled and disturbed. And it again points to the genius of the art design of the people who created this movie, because they really knew what they were going for. They really had a cohesive vision. They took something that could have easily been a kitschy, hokey, B-monster movie, and they turned it into something just dynamic and deep and beautiful. And I mean, everyone knows H.R. Geiger and his beautiful art design on the creature. It's just one of the most iconic, grotesque aliens that you're ever going to see in popular culture, and there's a reason for that. And the life cycle is obviously something that people remember. Nightmares my entire childhood. We go into acting, and the acting is phenomenal in this movie. I mentioned it earlier, but I mean, in watching the making of this film, it said that Ridley Scott just wrote them like a one-page background, and they gave it to each actor, and that actor just took it and totally expounded upon it and made it their own. Sigourney Weaver, this was her first film. Her first film. She went from doing stage acting, and which is, as an actor myself, which is totally something that is very reputable and difficult, and it's my preferred way of acting, but going into a totally different medium, and he nails it. Every actor in this movie nails it. Every character has depth and very specific motivations that you can tell, and no character's the same, and they all have different things going on. If I were going to complain about the acting, maybe for one character, it would be the character Lambert, because she's a little one note, but everyone else in this movie is just phenomenal. Great acting all around. That's what I'm going to say. And of course, Ripley is an icon of cinema. She set the stage for strong, powerful female characters, and that's undeniable. Cinematography, music, or the score, lighting design, it's all amazing. It all plays into this feeling of oppression. I still get chills listening to the music in this movie sometimes, because and I've seen it 50 times. This is my favorite movie. I've seen it a lot of times, but I still get chills listening to Jerry Goldsmith's score on this film. It is absolutely stunning. I'm not going to pretend the movie's perfect, right? There's some dodgy effects, particularly, and most notably, there's an explosion at the end of the movie that you can tell is a painting, and it goes on for a little while, and I don't know why it explodes 3 times. Kitschy special effects in there, and the creature is obviously, it's a man in a rubber suit, and therefore they have to keep it in the shadows, but every once in a while you can go like, yeah, that looks a little hokey. The biggest complaint for the movie that I hear from people is that it is kind of a slow boil. Nothing really happens as far as the alien goes for about 45 minutes of the movie, and that is going to be a deal breaker for some people. I know some people don't want to sit and listen to people talk and listen to world building for an hour. I love it. I think it plays again into the atmosphere, the perfection of the atmosphere that this movie does so amazingly, and it knows exactly what it's doing the entire time. It knows exactly what it's doing. Might be a turnoff for some people, might be a deal breaker. I wouldn't agree with that, but, to each their own, whatever floats their boat. Wherever this movie fails, in my opinion, it succeeds tenfold. The atmosphere and the design and the artistry and the acting and the score. The plot is pretty threadbare, but that's because it needs to be in order to elevate all these other things into like this iconic standing that it has. Alien is iconic. It goes without saying that Alien has had a massive impact on a character level, on a filmmaking level, on a horror movie level. It is the epitome of horror movies. It knows exactly what it needs to do in order to scare you, and in order to have this kind of world building that really elevates the tension and the anxiety and really makes you feel oppressed throughout the entire thing and really makes you believe these characters. I don't think I need to say anything more than that. It's an amazing movie. It's a movie that I think you need to watch, even if you're afraid of it. I love it. It's my favorite movie of all time. And I own a plushie of a chest burster. That's gotta say something. Thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Twitter at TheAmazingBase1. You can find me on Facebook if you search for The Amazing Base. And check out my written review of Alien that I'm going to post in the description here. I'll post a link to it in the description, as well as to my Facebook and my Twitter. And subscribe. Like and subscribe and comment. And let me know what you think about Alien, whether or not you think it's a masterpiece, or if you think otherwise. But thank you again for watching. I'll catch you next time. My screen is really distracting me because the video feed is like 5 seconds behind what I'm saying in real life, so it's like it's a very jarring juxtaposition of things that I have to deal with right now. And then I have the alien around my neck, which is kind of strangling me, and I'm wearing a shirt and tie, which is not even... I just got done with an interview. Anyway...